ponder in the fields around me, where there's nothing but the breeze and the great unknown. Leave your worries and your suitcase. All you don't need, nothing but you. So don't throw your start wishing. Well, it's your heart's desire carry you. Come and sail with me to the open ocean, where you don't have to dream because there's you. Nothing around us, just flames in the fire, and through the night they burn like me for you. Covered in wonder, sweet in the silence. Oh, we'll keep running and we'll keep running. Leave your worries and your suitcase. All you don't need, nothing but you.
Welcome to my wild camping experience. It's so wild, there's loads of bugs drinking me tea before I can get to it. Oh, beautiful. For tea tonight we've got some surti undui. That probably doesn't sound anything like how it's pronounced. Have a go yourself and see how you get on. It's curry, and I've got some baked beans and also some black pudding and pork sausages. I cooked these yesterday, so it's all gonna go in together and just warm up. I've got my bed set up, sorted out. I'll show you that later. It's supposed to be a low of 5 Celsius tonight, which I'm surprised about. Let's get me spoon, because I got so warm earlier I had to take my woolly hat off. I've swapped it for a much lighter hat. I've not tried this particular curry before, so this should be interesting. I thought I'd add a bit of excitement with a chilli. I really like using Firebox equipment. It's just nice and solid, and it does what it's supposed to do. Time to have a look at my sausage. These are the black pudding ones. Look a bit odd, don't they? And they got these bits of apple in there. Something a bit different. I must say, I'm really impressed with this Firebox Scout. I bought that when Firebox did a Kickstarter campaign for it, and I thought I've got to have one, and I'm glad I did. I don't think that I would cook wood or anything in it, or burn wood. I think as an alcohol stove stand and a gas canister stove, it works fantastically well. We're going to have a bit of a starter tonight. We've got some brie and crackers. Quite fancy that. Gonna have to break up a bit, I think. What more can you ask for? I've got a can of beer, some brie crackers while I'm waiting for me tea. I guess you could say I'm easing myself into wild camping properly. I'm on a wild camping site at the moment. I'm not going to get disturbed. It's nice and safe. And I'm kind of learning a lot of things as I go along. Doing this sort of thing, it's a completely different animal to going on a campsite. There's no mod cons. Excuse me. There's like a duddy over the back there, which is basically a giant bucket. I haven't looked at it yet, and I really don't want to get to the stage where I need to use it. And apart from that, that's pretty much it. But the benefits are, you might be able to hear the birds in the background. I don't know what they are. Somebody out there will be able to tell me. And it's all about getting some peace and being more at one with nature. My tent is a Naturehike Cloud Peak 2. I've heard fantastic things about these. It's not the dark green that I wanted, it's a lighter green colour. And the reason for that is, I bought this when there was like an Amazon sale, and I got this for less than £100. I think the darker green at the time was about an extra 20-30 quid or something. So I thought, you know what, I'm having that. So this is the first time I've actually set it up, and I'll see what it's like to sleep in. It's so peaceful tonight. I'm really enjoying the experience. I really like using these canisters, but they're absolutely hopeless when the temperature drops a bit. He's on full tilt at the moment. He's on, but you can hardly see any ink. How are we doing? That'll do for me. Apart from the traffic, it is so still here. It's absolutely beautiful. Hello everyone. I couldn't eat all my tea. It's a bit late at night to be eating too much. It's 10 o'clock. But I can squeeze in a little snifter before I go to bed. Let me show you what I'm sleeping in tonight. British Army sleeping bag. This is the lightweight version that goes inside the winter bag. I've got this thing's made by Yokel. Cheap little inflatable pillow. This is a sleeping mat, a decathlon version. It's made by 4Class. I'm really enjoying this sleeping mat. It's got next to no R value. I think it's about 1.2. So it's basically a Lilo. But it's got a couple of features I really like. It's got the sticky. It's not really sticky, but it appears to be sticky. When you put some weight on it, it doesn't move around. And there's some on the back as well. There you go. And I found that to be an excellent mat. And I like the way that it spreads my weight across. Underneath that, I've got the controversial Snugpak Antarctic Mat. I've had loads of questions about this. About, is it any good? Is it worth having? I'm still on the fence with that. Does it provide insulation? Yes, it provides a lot of insulation. And I'm going to kind of prove it tonight because it's supposed to go down to about 5 Celsius. So the ground's definitely going to be colder. Feels a little damp, doesn't feel that cold. And the mat has got next to no insulation in it. So If I get cold in the night, I'll let you know in the morning. I can easily understand why people like this Cloud Peak 2. There's acres of space in here. You're all the way down there, I'm here. I can sit up and I don't feel claustrophobic at all. I think it weighs something like 1.7 kilos and the pack size is a little bit too big. Really, it takes up more space than what I want it to, but at the same time it gives me so much, so I'm really thrilled to bits with it so far. I appreciate that manufacturers of tents have got a really hard job to do, because everybody's got their own personal preference, everybody's got their own personal style of tent that they like. So like I say, manufacturers do have a really difficult job. I mean, I like this because it's got a nice exoskeleton pole type system going on. It's just the one pole connects all together. I think it's absolutely brilliant. Some people might prefer like a TP style. I've slept in them and I absolutely hate the pole in the middle. So I get how difficult it is for manufacturers. So I get the whole trade-off thing between cost, functionality, size, weight, pack size. There's so many things, I guess, to consider. I'm off for a pre-sleep wee. I find myself a nice friendly looking tree. Oh. Thank you, tree. The ground underneath me, it's still a bit lumpy, but hopefully I can get a decent night's sleep. I'll see you in the morning. Good morning, everyone. It's 5 to 5 and I've hardly slept. I was cold last night. I had to put my top on. It was it was uncomfortable. It was all right till about 1 o'clock this morning, and I woke up and I was chilly and I just couldn't get properly to sleep after that. So I'll be glad to be up, moving and shifting off, to be honest. Thank goodness for Marks and Spencer's long johns and British Army Arctic socks. They saved the day, honestly. My feet were toasty last night. My legs were fine. It was just my top. I was cold, so I had to put all my rest of my clothes on. So how do we fare? Well, the British Army inner for the double bag sleep system, I wouldn't take it out when it's going to be this cold again. I reckon 10 Celsius is probably the lowest you want to get with that. It was down to 3 Celsius last night according to my weather app, and it's just a bit too much for it. I was a bit cold. My sleeping mat was amazing, and this blooming thing, I still don't know if this is useful or not. I know that sounds ridiculous, but that Arctic mat, I've had it underneath and I wasn't warm, but I wasn't cold at the same time. It was kind of temperate, for the want of a better word. It didn't add anything to me in terms of heat, but it didn't take anything away in terms of cold seeping into the ground. That probably doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Because put my hand under there. Okay, it's temperate. It's not warm, it's not cold. I put my hand on there. it feels a little bit chilly. So it does do a job, but there's probably better options out there. I find a foam mat actually gives me more warmth back into my body. So, but I keep experimenting with this. This is a rare piece of kit for me, because most things you can decide whether you like them or not. You know, I've got this titanium canteen. I really like it. You know, your socks, brilliant. Mat, brilliant. This, I'm still undecided. Let's see what the morning has to offer. Oh, let's get that zip. Oh, it's beautiful out there. It's so still. It's a pretty much a perfect morning. I must say, despite being cold, I thoroughly enjoyed last night. Being out in the woods, just being out in nature. So it's time to say goodbye to all the wonderful trees and all the little insects that have tried to eat me, and all the birds that have entertained me. I'll see you next time. Info Shed out.